The word Illuminati just means to illuminate. There's nobody else on the planet to illuminate except who? Why do you think they call you the children of the sun? What did our ancient Egyptian ancestors use as their symbol? The sun. The pyramid. What do the Illuminatis use as their symbol? The pyramid. The first universities in Europe was set up by who? Africans. So when someone says the roots of the Illuminati, who should you think about? Self. See the game? The game is to always make you hate who? Anything. If they say go left, we go what? If they say go right, we go? Thank you. That's the Barashango rule. You remember that? It's the rule of opposites. If they say it's cold, it's hot. Don't accept none of that. These people talking separates. They tell you not to do it and they go what and what? Do it. Just like all these years, oh, you dealing with that African stuff. I'm a musician. I go everywhere. I have access to everything. As a musician, as an artist. You know how many European friends I have? I don't care. The cameras can be on. They know who I am and they know what I'm about. I got mad love for them as people. I really do. But you know who's deeper into this stuff than you? They are. They collect the most artifacts, don't they? Yeah. Don't they collect the most books? Yeah. Don't they always get into celebrations and music and art that you do that come from you? But who don't get into it? Black folks don't get into it. These people pay $10,000 to put on affairs. Did you catch me? Yeah. The first 15 universities set up by Moors, Africans, from Mali, Senegal, and Egypt, and Arabia, as far as India. All these were the people who conquered Southern Europe. That's how. Go to Cordoba, Spain. Cordoba, Spain is one of those places, those buildings that have the most arches in the world. There was no other listen to the word I'm using, architecture on the planet that has that many arches in it. To build an arch with no mortar is impossible. Only group of people that ever built arches with no mortar are Africans. Thus, when you deal with Freemasonry, you go to the highest level of Freemasonry, and it's called what? The 33rd degree, the arch degree. I'm taking you back in time. You see what happened? There's a fragment in your memory. Okay, let's play this game. 1400s, Moors are still fighting for power in Europe, correct? 1430, Spanish Inquisition is going on, right? 1492, Moors are finally expelled out of Spain, right? Order of Alhambra. You're finally expelled out of Spain. Spanish Inquisition is damn near complete. And I ain't even go into what they use as the means for the Inquisition. No Inquisition? That's our code in here. So everybody come to my class, no, that's my code. No Inquisition? No, we got to repeat that back. No Inquisition. No Inquisition. Thank you. Because it's all free flow now. We going in. So, you mean to tell me that 150 years before 1555, you niggas was ruling Europe and all of a sudden you end up on a plantation somewhere? Who played the mind game? Somebody's lying. How did you go from 1450 ruling in a country over European people and nations, and in 1555, 1600s, you back in chattel slavery in another country? Mind game. Told you what. Did you understand what I was setting you up for? When you pay attention to the timelines, the stuff's not adding up. We have been under a psychological mind experiment. And not just Nubians, not just Moors, not just the melanated people. Guess what? Guess who's going through the deepest one themselves? Europeans. Because they teach their children to believe it. Christopher Columbus? No such person. I told you everything that we have been fed, most of our lives have been nothing more than lies. There was no Christopher Columbus? Christopher Cologne is the person's name. And he was not lost. Nobody makes a mistakes on the high sea. Do you know what it is to be a navigator? Yes. Do you know what it is to have 3, 4 ships, 200 ships on the ocean, and you're going to play with men's lives? Ain't nobody going to do that. You believe that? You got to read the stars and travel. First of all, people been here already. Number 2, he had 3 maps, and one was called a Pirates map. If you get, they came before Columbus. You cool? Everybody good? Oh yeah, he's good. He's good. They came before Columbus. We hold the book here. We'll order more. Also, African presence in early America. There is a map called the Pirates map. The Pirates map predates Columbus' voyage to the so-called New World.
I got that book in the car right now.
Another book that was put out by a Rosicrucian member was New Atlantis by Roger Bacon. New Atlantis is about when Europeans reach America, they see a copper-toned group of people standing with crosses, ankhs.
That's when they got the idea from the first.
You know who put this book together? The same people who would tell on tape, they got all the DVDs out, the Illuminati, they'll come and get you. All that crazy shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I get real. The same people who talk about that crap is the same people who wrote that Bible and every other holy book. Surprise. Game's over. The person you've really been fighting is you. Why do you think he puts a hood over his face when he lynches people? He don't want you to see his face because if you see his face, you'll know who it is. The same man that greeted you in the morning. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. That's why they wear masks, so you can't see him. And the information that he's using to do it, all the emblems and the symbols and the culture and all the get up and the gear that they wear, they got it from you.
Yes, indeed.
Making you scared of yourself is the #1 key of control. Every answer to every problem that African people, black people, melanated people, and the world in general, we can go outside, we can go to the whole so-called human population. Every problem they have lies with them. Problem? You won't go on the other side of the tracks. Because somebody told you there's a boogeyman over there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a boogeyman over there. So you mean to tell me brothers and sisters got some drums, they made some drums out of some barrels, got a black pig, went to the metal shop, got tossed up, started praying, did their graffiti on the ground, activate the spirit world, and went on a rampage, and they shooting guns at him, and these dudes were still charging, and took the gun out of his hand? Because it's art of it, they show you, they drew it. I want to know about that. Wouldn't you want to know about that?
Definitely.
Just imagine a big hip-hop concert, except everybody's conscious, and we just... right? And we just so happen to pull out some holy scriptures. We pull out some spirits. We got some light and fire in the air. See? Right? And everybody start, and you got the bulls drumming. And everybody start dancing. Well, that's what happened. And the whole city just got knocked down as if it was never there. They said when the smoke cleared, the people who escaped from the main cities of Haiti, Port-au-Prince and all that area, when the smoke cleared, the Europeans who escaped can still see the cities burning for 7 days. That's how bad you are. And that's just one place. Same thing happened in Brazil. They went into a trance, started getting down, and knocked over a whole township. They did it in Virginia, 1787. It's called Decato's Rebellion. It was the first time that drums were outlawed in America, in Virginia. And y'all gotta understand something about Virginia. Virginia is Nat Turner territory.
Absolutely.
They pulled the drums out, did the same exact thing. They was wearing all, according to the story, was wearing all white, got tossed up, went into a trance, and killed everybody on all the plantations. They did it again in Florida in the 1800s. The Seminole, they call them Seminole Indian. Let me break something down for y'all. Whenever y'all hear the word Seminole,
Black. Black.
it's a French word. Semi means what? Nole means what? Black. The 5 civilized tribes were what? Black. Native Americans. And I'm using black for a reason, so yeah, I don't have to keep going on and on and on to convince you that this is about you. This word did not exist before until you were here. This was the congregation of Africans from across the water, and those native melanated people in this land came together and created a new tribe of people and fought the American government for 13 years and won. And never signed a treaty until they finally lost Actually, they never signed the treaty. They just lost. And you know, yeah, and you know how they lost? Do you know how they lost? Because a Moor told on them. Because a black person told on them. Just like Nat Turner's rebellion. Somebody told on them. Now, am I telling people to hate anybody? No. What I'm trying to get you to see is that there's something special about you. You have the power to tap into something that's great, and the whole world has a piece of it. They get a glimpse of it when you play music. I mean, hey, I play reggae music, I play African music for a living. That's my culture. You know who was 80% of my audience? I can't get, unless I go out on the street and start playing, y'all will never hear it. Unless I go somewhere and we set it up, you'll never know it. But guess who'll be the first person to show up? Europeans. And if you're African and you don't, and you know, then you know. If you don't know, you just don't know.
Brother Levi, what do it do for them? Why they gotta sit and watch?
Same thing it does for you, 10 times more.
Enlightens them a little bit.
It's more than enlightenment. Trance. Trance. That means it's time for you to break out of your common day thoughts. What's holding you captive?
Self.
Fear. That's where I was about to go. Now can I read it?
Yes.
Now can I read it? So are we here? Are we together? Chapter 1, selection. Number 1, selection and preparation of the victim. A, selection based on genetics and dissociative abilities. Now let me explain dissociative abilities real quick and I'm gonna get off of it. I need a volunteer.
Get the kid.
Come on, I knew it. I just knew it was you, boy. Come on. Now, stand right here. We gonna get in the rumble, right? We rumble. I mean, gotta rumble. We get into a rumble. We fight. He gets hit real hard. Boom. He's knocked out and he falls out. Right? Sit down now. Thank you. He falls out from the trauma of being hit. We usually laugh at that, right? But let me tell you something very unique about your abilities as living people. Falling out, going into that dissociative state, falling out, is a way that the human mind, or the so-called human mind, human body, protects itself. You fall out or you go to sleep to protect your nervous system and your organs so you don't die. Right. The adrenaline builds up, you get hurt, you fall out or you pass out. The body is receiving a signal to shut down. Because if you don't shut down, you're going to go into shock and die. So the body in pain shuts down. Once the body shuts down, then the body and the person, the being, can be preserved. Now, during slavery, we went into a dissociative state. We got another chair somewhere. Hold on, come on around, man. Come on, right here. You can put it right here, Elder. We went into a dissociative state, meaning we had to separate our memory, we had to separate our cognition from what was happening. It goes on with rape victims, slavery. Goes on to people who are being beat with whips, slavery. It goes on when someone imprisons someone.
Prisoners of war.
Prisoners of war go into a dissociative state to survive. That's the positive side of dissociative identity, meaning you have the ability to separate your cognition of who you think you are from what you really are. And that's what black people did to survive slavery. You made a new schematic in your memory bank to survive the pain that you went through.
Would you say that that's what's happening today when our people listen to the music? They, especially our guys, they go into like a trance.
Yes, and actually that's not dissociative. Well, you could consider it dissociative,
No.
but actually that's an
That's
an attunement, and they actually are linking into another identity. And that oh, hear these words, Lord have mercy. Here we go. That identity that they're tapping into, actually, according to where their mind is already. Everybody's mind is not in the same place. I might be hearing the same song, jumping to it like, yeah, I feel that, but I'm thinking about something totally different. And I'm picking up a whole other part of the spirit of this music that they're not picking up. They might be picking up something that I'm not picking up. Identity. Everybody say identity.
Identity.
You all know that's a trick word? Catch this, Reef, if you can. Catch this on your camera. We going to psychology class. Y'all need to pay me my money. Identity is a double word, is a game. Entity. The id is the part of your being that you want the world to see. You have the id, the ego, consciousness, mid-consciousness, and subconsciousness. The id is the part of your consciousness that you want the world to see. That's why they use it. Hold on, and I'll explain it. That's why they use this word, identity. In other words, there's different parts of your consciousness. There's different aspects of your emotions that you express at different times. For instance, okay, one time you a saint, the next time I talk to you, you a gangster. The next time I talk to you, you a what? You a healer. The next time I talk to you, you a stone cold killer. There's different aspects in your personality. You got 9 different personality traits. Did you know that? That's what is called the Kabbalah. All right? That's what the Kabbalah is about. The 9 different elements, the 9 spirits, the 9 angelic forms and stages that you can go through in your own being. All of the Orishas, Neteru, angels, all of those exist inside of you. You are a part of all of them. They are part of your identity. Your id is just showing certain parts of it the most. Some of us show a certain part more. Some of us are fiery. Some of us are watery. Some of us are more air. Some of us are more solid. Each one of us has a certain part of that identity that we show the most. Are we still together? All right. You didn't think it was this, you didn't think your enslavement was this deep, did you? You thought it was just like, hey, Pop, well, here we are. We messed up, right? No. You're magnificent. For instance, you keep breaking all the charts and the rules. Michael Jordan, all right? he goes up, unfortunately, he can glide through the air and dunk a ball like a swan, right? He can fly. He come from a whole tribe of brothers and sisters who can jump real high up in the air. Aerodynamically unchallenged. You have some of us who know how to calculate a mathematical decimal down to the last number and make that which was non-terminal, terminal. And math. Right? You got some of us who know how to just give you a touch of their hand and their heel. Like that. But for some odd reason, if I call you black folks, you Moors, Africans, you will lose your mind. If I mention Africa in some people's home, I'll probably be thrown out on my ass. Quick. See, I don't want to play games with it no more. Let's tell the truth of what's going on. We have been taught to hate self. That's the real issue. That's why God needs you. God does need you. But if you don't recognize self and you don't love self, then no one in the world can deal with you. That's what this is about. They have a whole lot of prisons. Why do you think they're building prisons? To hold you.
That's right.
They're doing a lot of work to do a lot with you people, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Make sure that the curriculum never even speaks about how great you are, and they only go back 5,000 years, and they stop. And I created that frame of consciousness. I created that frame of thought so that you never escape. How many people seen the movie Dark City?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I had to throw that one out there. Dark City is a movie where they change people's memories every day. And they change the time every day. Now, what year is it? This to show you the psychic trauma. I can create any world I want once I have you comatose. I'm going to program you with a whole nother world and a whole nother life. What year is it? Come on, give it to me, family. Call the year. You know when you sign that check, you're going to know what year it is. Come on now. It's 2014. And we have to say it. But you know your intelligence don't like it, do you? You know your intelligence don't believe that. 2014 AD, right? What does AD stand for? After, don't say that, because you've been here. After what?
The Christian era.
That would be ACE.
Oh.
What does AD stand for? You, after death. He said after death. Wrong.
After dissension.
Nope. After the death.
That's what they tell them.
Right after Christ died or something.
That's what they.
But that's what they tell them.
AD stands in the Latin for Anno Domino. Anno is yearly, the year. Domino is domination. After our domination. Trick, ain't it?
That's crazy.
And I'll create a false being and I'll give him a name and I'll make you believe in him. And once again, I'll use an army to force you to. And if you don't, I will give you hell. The Greeks, Hellenistic era. Hellenistic people. You see the game that's being played?
That's where it helps.
See, everybody's talking about breaking, getting our young brothers out of prison, getting our sisters out of prison, getting our people out of this. You were already born in the prison. The environment just reflects what's going on in here. Someone's trying to keep God from talking. The goddess is screaming already. I don't even have, they talk about, well, nobody mentions the goddess. You know why? The goddess is screaming. She's screaming so much she can't scream no more. She done stopped. That's how much she screamed. Look at the pictures. It's a woman. I tell everybody this all the time. It's an old woman holding a male infant. But if you look at the other picture, it's a dead man. What a woman what actually is a dead man with a woman holding him, and in the reversal, it's a man holding a woman.
Where is that?
These are all Christian art icons, and they're really giving you subconscious messages. Has nothing to do with any person to pray to. They're talking about society, humanity, creation, play on power. In the beginning, it was matriarchal, and the end, patriarchal. 2000 AD, they played a game on us. So what's year zero? Come on, tell me. Was it ever such a thing?
No.
Was it ever such a thing as year zero? You see what's happening? The world is waking up. It has to. It has no choice. None of this is adding up anymore. So it's all being discarded. All religions will be destroyed. The Vatican has already said that Jesus don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. Are y'all seeing this?
That was an edict put out months ago. Like
Yeah. Wait, what's the question? Man? Speak up.
Hold on to something. Hold on to
Speak up, brother, so we can hear your question.
So, if Christ is it like saying that he revealed himself around like year 1 or something like that? Because
That's what's taught.
Years, like,
Let me help
BCE
you.
and stuff.
I know where you go. Christ is a title. Let's talk about who you're talking about. 2,000 years AD from this particular moment in time, Romans did rule inside of North Africa. And black men and women did fight the Roman army. And there were black men, Moors, Africans. I use these words interchangeably not to confuse people, nor to push you away. Okay? Fought the Roman Empire. In fighting the Roman Empire, we created underground philosophies. One of those philosophies was the order of the Essenes, also known as the Nazarites, the Hebrew Israelites, who were called Nazarites. They wore locks, and they were African, and they fought, and they won. And when they didn't win, and when they were brutalized by the Romans, they did crucify them on crosses, and people did see their bodies blazing and dying and burning up in the sun. It happened. Which one you want to pick out? That's your choice. There's trillions. How many Jesus Christs you want to pick out? Trillions. On this wall, there is a book that we hold called The 16 Crucified Saviors by Kersey Graves, written in late 1800s, early 1900s. 16 Crucified Christ. What I'm trying to say to you, little brothers, that the story of Christ existed, but which one? Your choice. Okay?
Oh, Christ.
Exactly. And I'm not going to take that away from you. You hear what I'm saying? There's trillions of stories of men and women fighting against oppression. And one of the first things they have to do to fight against oppression is for you to re-identify yourself with your ancestors. That's God. What did Yahshua, Jesus, say to them? He said, return back to your what? The ways of your foreparents. One of the first things that has to be done is people have to spiritually clean out. I say revelation, then we say revolution. Revelation first, then revolution. Not revolution, then revelation. That's backwards. Let me get into this real quick, because I know I've been holding on to this. Chapter 1, selection number 1. The selection of the victim is based on genetics and dissociative abilities. That means they have the ability to go into trance and separate themselves from what's going on. This is deep. That means they can create a whole new memory for themselves, a whole new identity for themselves. B, availability. Do I have access to them without any interruptions? C, mental and physical features. Now, the name of this CIA project is called the Monarch Program. And it's a real program. And the symbol is the what? And what do you sisters love getting on your necks?
What's the symbol?
The butterfly. One of the primary reasons that the Monarch Mind Control Program was named Monarch Programming was because of the Monarch Butterfly. The Monarch Butterfly learns where it was born, its roots, and it passes this knowledge via the genetics onto its offspring. Women, did you catch me? You pass on genetic memories and abilities to your children by way of genetics. That's why we keep producing powerful beings. They can't figure out what's these anomalies you keep giving birth to. Blind men that can play pianos? Really? Show me one. We got trillions of them. You know how long we've been producing blind people that can play pianos? Bigger Thomas. Not Bigger Thomas, no, that's Native Son. What's his name? Blind Tom. That's his name. Blind Tom can play a piano during slavery. During the slave period, can play the piano with no classical training. Play Mozart for him, and he played Mozart back to all the white people, and they couldn't figure it out. Stevie Wonder played the piano, blind. Hear everything that they play it back to him. Beethoven was also a Moor, yes.
Does that movie Butterfly Effect have any correlation?
Yes, it does. All movies have everything to do with it. Please listen, family. Please listen. Are you cool?
Yeah, I'm about to plug up. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Movies are programming devices.
Yes.
Movies are programming devices. And the eyes is the windows of the soul. So therefore, the fastest way for me to program people is to do what? Create movies. And create misleading movies at that. Put your symbols and your identity and your face in the movie, but change the story. And make you hate the image of yourself while you're watching the movie. Are you hearing me? Like, for instance, everybody loves The Matrix.
That's totally what's going on right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's written by a woman, and what does the word matrix mean? Don't say anything. This is a learning moment. What does the word matrix mean?
I'm not certain in math. Matrix.
I love this.
He got the answer.
You got the answer?
I think Matrix means like the such and so. Not like the real world, but like kind of such and so. Like a world that you kind of like become.
You're close. I've been mentioning this whole day. It's about the monarch. The monarch butterfly. The word matrix means womb. It means mother, matriarch. This is why Neo in the movie, when Morpheus, what does morph mean? Change. Neo means neophyte. Matrix means mother. Morpheus took the neophyte to the mainframe matrix, and she sat him down at the oracle, right? And the oracle said, "You think you're the one?" "I'm sorry, son, you're not the one." Sad that Morpheus don't know he the one. In other words, sad that the black man don't know that he's the one that's changing the damn world. And that the neophyte has to reawaken him to realize you're the one making this all happen. So he has to get inside of the mainframe. Does that sound familiar? I got to get down with your crew. That means I got to start getting into your music. I got to get into your culture. I got to get into your habits. Okay, so this is about transcendental existence. Let's end this up so we can get out of here, because I know.
Excuse me, can I say something about the teenager?
Go ahead. And we'll get to that
Because
too.
he's a teenager.
Yes.
There's been in the news for the past 3 or 4 months a 14-year-old white, we'll call him boy, who killed 4 people in a car. He was in a car driving, and he killed 4 people. They did not sentence him because they said he was too rich to understand the law. And I'm saying this to you because you asked a good question, okay? Why are we in jail? Well, we're definitely not in jail because we're too rich.
They call it
Which
affluenza.
means that we shouldn't be in jail at all.
I think they call it affluenza.
Yeah, they call it affluenza.
That's too affluent to
that's what they call
understand
it.
reality.
So you know what they...
know he should be in jail because all these
That's
other
where you learn
14-year-olds who run over somebody in a car, they're in jail. But this is killing. 4 people are dead, and he's free.
I don't get it. So they arrest him when he's my age for killing 4 people, but they arrest people like me for just walking on the street.
Right, very good. That's what I want to make sure.
Well,
you got.
and
You
that's,
got it.
they usually use probable cause as an excuse for that. I'm not trying to make everybody like us innocent. Please don't get that twisted. What I'm trying to say here is that we have to have our security up 10 times higher than everybody else. Because of who you are. Because the deeper secret about who you are is about to come out. You ready? You are the gods and goddesses of the planet. And every book, every holy book, every statue, every record that ever has been written, anything great that has ever happened on this planet for these people on this planet comes from you. And particularly the black people in North America. Why am I saying particularly the blacks of North America? Not because I was just born here. Wrong. It's cold here. It's cold. Do you agree? It's cold. So you mean to tell me you're going to put these tropical, hot blood burning black folk up in the ice and have them actually toil and labor every day? Be beat on, whipped, raped, and robbed. Kept unaware of who their ancestors are. Still become productive people within your institution. I didn't say country. I said your institution. And then still save you in that institution. Y'all fantastic people. Everybody's looking at you like, what's the next move? Hip-hop was the last revolution we had. Ooh, somebody was going to say something?
Yeah. In Daniel, this is the Bible. In Daniel, the 7th chapter, the 9th verse, it said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. And every minister says that's God. Everyone that I've heard. It says, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flames, and his wheels as burning fire. And somewhere else in Psalm 82.
Psalms 82, I've said, ye are gods and children of the Most High.
You are the God. The children, it says, you are God and the children of
the Most High.
The Most High.
You want me to read it?
And it also says it in John.
John. Yahshua, Jesus says it to the disciples and the people when he asks them, by what authority do you do this? And does it not say in your scripture that ye are gods? It says it all through the scriptures.
Right.
See, that's the secret. That's the G. That's the G.
And
you were looking for the
they'll
secret.
say, well, that's a little God. And no, when you go to the translation from the Hebrew, it says the Elohim.
the Broadway sub-stop, Philadelphia, PA. Shot so loud you would think it was a club spot. African Americans, although we all over the web, we the hood librarians. We ship to prisons too. We reach out and deliver to those that's bitten too, but it's more than a bookstore. You want it, we got it. Mixtapes, DVDs, and culture products. Black and Nobel got our hands in a lot of projects. We welcome all to come build. The energy is positive. Every member of the team is awake and conscious. Come through and experience this place of knowledge. They say they'll put it in a book if they wanna hide it from us, but we got them books so you can buy it from us. Something to read while you on a train or riding the bus. Get your read on, food for thought, get your eat on. Black and Nobel, I buy my books at Black and Nobel.